Something happened to my friends Marcus and Dana at an open house last spring. They never talked about it publicly. They said people wouldn't believe them. But Marcus wrote it all down, word for word, in a journal he gave me before he moved away. This is that story, exactly as he wrote it. Marcus and Dana had been house hunting for about 4 months. Not scared tired, just worn down. Every weekend, another house, another agent, another kitchen that smelled like someone else's cooking. They lived in Provo, Utah. It was a Tuesday afternoon in late April, around 2 in the afternoon. Not a weekend, not midnight, just a regular Tuesday when the sun sits flat and makes everything look washed out. Dana had found the listing on a smaller app that aggregates homes from different counties. The listing had 3 photos, just 3. The front exterior, a living room shot, and the backyard. No kitchen, no bedrooms, no price history. Most people would have scrolled past. Dana almost did, but the house was in their budget, in the right school district, and the square footage was listed as 2,400. For Provo in April, that was a deal. So she sent Marcus the link and said, quote, "Worth a look. By the way, if you're new here, welcome to Unblinking. We tell stories that stay with you. Hit that subscribe button and the like button if you want more. It costs you nothing, and it means everything to us." Now, back to Marcus and Dana. The address led them to a quiet cul-de-sac in a neighborhood called Ridgemont Terrace. Marcus said the street felt normal. Basketball hoops, mulched flower beds, a wind chime on one porch. Nothing unusual. The house itself was a 2-story colonial, cream, colored with dark green shutters. The lawn had been mowed recently. There was a lockbox on the door handle and a printed sign that said, "Open house, come on in." The agent's name was listed as Araldren. They never saw Araldren. They waited outside for about 3 minutes. Called the number on the sign. Voicemail. Marcus figured the agent was running late. Dana tried the lockbox. It was already open. The door was unlocked. So Tay went in. The inside was fully furnished. That surprised them. Most open houses are staged with rental furniture, clean, neutral, impersonal. But this place looked lived in. There were throw blankets on the couch, a half-finished crossword puzzle on the coffee table, a mug on the kitchen counter with a faded logo Marcus didn't recognize. Dana walked toward the kitchen. Marcus stood in the entryway. He said the house smelled like cedar and something else he couldn't name. Not bad, just unfamiliar, like the inside of a box that had been sealed for a long time and just opened. He noticed the walls. The entryway had a gallery wall, one of those arrangements where you mix frames of different sizes. Photos, mostly. Family photos. Marcus glanced at them, the way you do when you're in someone else's house. And then he stopped glancing. He stepped closer. The first photo was a wide shot, a family at some kind of outdoor event. He could see the back of a man's head and a woman beside him with dark hair. Dana has dark hair. He told himself that meant nothing. He called Dana back into the entryway. She came in, wiping her hands on her jeans. She'd picked up the mug on the counter before she realized what she was doing. Out of habit. Marcus pointed at the photos without saying anything. Dana looked. She tilted her head. Then she leaned in closer. The second photo was a close-up. A couple sitting on a porch step, faces turned slightly away from the camera. The man was wearing a gray Henley. Marcus had worn a gray Henley that morning. He was still wearing it. They didn't say anything for a moment. Marcus told me later that his brain was doing what brains do, building explanations, coincidence, bad lighting. He started to feel slightly foolish for even reacting. Then Dana pointed to the third photo. It was a portrait-style shot. Formal. A man and a woman standing side by side in front of what looked like a dark wood wall. The woman's face was slightly blurred, like she'd moved when the shutter clicked. But Marcus could see enough. The jawline, the way she stood with her left shoulder slightly forward, that was Dana's posture. It was Dana's posture, exactly. Marcus said his first real feeling wasn't fear. It was confusion. He kept thinking, there has to be a reason. Maybe the photos were stock images printed for staging. He actually said that out loud. Dana didn't respond. They should have left. He knew that, but there's a thing that happens to people in strange situations where the mind demands an explanation before it will let the body move. They needed to understand before they could go. They walked upstairs. The staircase wall had more photos, smaller ones in mismatched frames. Vacation photos, maybe a lake somewhere, a parking lot, a dinner table. In each one, the people were slightly out of focus, or turned, or partially cropped. But the shapes were familiar. The proportions were familiar. At the top of the stairs, there was a short hallway with 3 doors. The first was a bathroom, clean, empty, nothing notable. The second was a small bedroom with a single bed, made up neatly with a plain white comforter. On the nightstand was a framed photo, face down. Dana picked it up. She set it back down immediately. Marcus picked it up, He said the photo was of a living room, the one directly below them. He could tell by the window shape and the way the light came in. And sitting on the couch in that living room were two people, facing away from the camera. One of them was holding a mug with a faded logo. The same mug Dana had picked up downstairs. The same mug that was now in Dana's hand. The third door at the end of the hallway was closed. Marcus said he stood in front of it for a long time. He put his hand on the doorknob. Cold, not room temperature. Cold. Like it had been sitting in the shade. He opened it. It was a home office. A desk, a chair, a bookshelf with no books on it. And on the wall directly across from the door, a single large framed photo. Maybe 18 by 24 inches. Mounted carefully, scented on the wall. It was a photo of the entryway of the house they were standing in, taken from inside the entryway, facing the door. And standing in the doorway, just stepping inside, were two people. The photo was slightly grainy, like it had been taken on an older phone or through glass. But Marcus recognized the jacket Dana was wearing. She'd bought it 3 weeks earlier. She had never worn it before. Today, Marcus closed the door. He took Dana's hand and they walked back down the stairs. He said neither of them ran. He doesn't know why. They just walked, steadily, out the front door and to their car. Marcus drove. Dana sat with her hands in her lap and said nothing for about 10 minutes. Marcus told me he turned it over in his mind for months afterward. He researched the address. No matching property records for Aldrin. The listing disappeared from the app within 24 hours. No agent, no seller, no record of anyone filing to sell that home that week. No one they contacted could explain it. Maybe stress played tricks on my mind. Or maybe some places carry things we simply don't understand. But one thing I believe with certainty is this. Everything happens by the will of Allah. Nothing moves, nothing changes, and nothing touches our lives without His knowledge. Everything happens according to Allah's will, and maybe some questions are not meant to be answered. Marcus moved out of Provo 6 weeks later. He and Dana don't talk about the house. They don't talk about a lot of things now. Dana still has the mug. He doesn't know why she kept it. She doesn't know either. But here's what I keep coming back to. The photo in the third room was taken from inside the house, before they arrived, before they ever decided to go. Dana bought that jacket 3 weeks before the showing. The listing had 3 photos. Just the front, the living room, the backyard, no hallways or anyone acid. Nobody placed those photos on those walls. And yet, when Marcus and Dana walked through that door on a flat washed out Tuesday in April, the house already knew exactly what they looked like. If this story stayed with you, and I think it will, drop a comment below. Tell us what part got under your skin. Was it the mug? The jacket? Or something else you noticed that I haven't even mentioned? Share this with someone who needs a reason to think twice before walking into an open house. Marcus is still house hunts. He and Dana bought a place eventually. He told me on the day they signed. He walked through every room and checked every wall. No photos. He said he felt relieved. He still checks every time he enters a new building. It always will. And after reading that journal, so will I.